And I'm joined by some of the women within the Kickass midlife community. And today we're talking about sleep, that tricky old subject of sleep, or the lack thereof sometimes for those of us who are going through perimenopause or who are out the other side, and how it affects our cravings, and our hormones as well. So we're going to discuss, how that affects our metabolism and why and how mastering better sleep can help transform not just your weight loss, but also your health in terms of less inflammation. So firstly, you've got to understand the sleep metabolism connection and what's kind of going on there. So you've got growth hormone disruption. So deep sleep is when you release that growth hormone, which helps with recovery. So for anyone in the program who's doing weights, then obviously sleep is the most important factor, along with protein, for the recovery of that muscle and muscle maintenance, which is obviously then really important for your muscle metabolism. Um, uh, Sleep also dictates whether you are releasing how that affects your release of your hunger hormone, and that hormone that tells you, signals to the body you're satisfied, leptin. Poor sleep increases cortisol release, which, if you've been to any of my meetings before, with estrogen decline, already we have a bit more of a problem with managing cortisol, and that encourages fat accumulation around the middle. And then on top of that, it leads to insulin resistance. So that means it's more difficult for the body to process glucose, so therefore resulting in body fat storage. So big effects. So yeah, as I say, that hunger hormone, it's leptin is the hormone that signals that you're full, and the hunger hormone stimulates your appetite. Excuse that spelling mistake. Insulin regulates blood sugar, and fat storage, and cortisol, your stress hormone, so it increases your appetite and cravings. So on top of that, obviously, we've already got this effect of hormonal impact on our sleep. So decline in estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone leads to all this, which adds to that difficulty of getting to sleep. So, or you get to sleep and you wake up in the middle of the night. So hot flushes or flashes, whichever you decide to call it, night sweats disrupting sleep, which is that decline in estrogen, reduced progesterone causes anxiety. So how many of you, if you put a two in the chat, suffer from the hot flushes and night sweats? One in the chat for that, two in the chat if you tend to wake up middle of the night or early in the morning and then can't get back to sleep because you're really suffering from that anxiety and can't stop thinking about things. And then lower testosterone, number three. So contributing to like kind of mood swings, and that contributing to sleep patterns. Some of you may be a one, two, and a three. Looks like two is the biggest, and three as well. So yes, so affecting everybody in some way. So what do we do about it? So these are the things that possibly you've all heard before. So we're going to go into a little bit also about sleep hacks that you might not have heard about. So consistent schedule. So studies have actually shown that if you go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, that improves your sleep quality. So, for instance, at weekends, you might be like, oh, I'm going to really sleep in, I'm going to go to bed really late. So, if you play with your sleep pattern, that is going to impact it even more. So, maybe something you could try, at least, at the very least, during the week, is going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. So I find it, after years and years of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to teach outdoor boot camps, I now generally wake up naturally at 6, not 5 anymore, thank God, but 6, and that's just my natural time. So if I go try and sleep in, I actually feel worse. So it's better that I just stick to my schedule. You've probably all heard about, a dark, cool room. during hormone change is probably the best. You can get kind of pajamas, nightwear, bed stuff also now that is better for helping with hot flushes. So you can look at that and avoid that blue light again 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. That has been shown to impact melatonin, which helps to regulate your sleep patterns. And then you can try those meditation, relaxation techniques, deep breathing, gentle yoga. So those are the things you've probably heard a million times before in newspaper articles, radio, podcasts, all that kind of thing. So these are the sleep hacks or toolkits that I've found that really work, some of which you may have heard of, but not done. So it's really easy to be thinking of like, oh, I know that. But have you done it? And have you done it consistently? Because as within the Kickass Midlife Method program, like I often say, it's the processes and sticking to the processes done consistently that create the results. And that consistency, doing the same thing over and over and over again until it becomes normal practice, are really the things that start to create the change. So if you're someone that really suffers from sleep, then try one of these. So an Alexa alarm. So instead of having your phone as an alarm clock or even a digital alarm clock that's got one of those quite bright displays, use Alexa and you can just talk to it, tell it to set an alarm and set your alarm to go to bed, not just getting up. So if you set an alarm about 30 to 45 minutes before you want to get into bed, and use that time to start unwinding. So maybe I, for instance, set an alarm at 9:30. I don't go to sleep at 9:30, but I'll go and start getting ready to bed. I might even be in bed, but I'll be reading. So I probably might go to bed to sleep at 10:30. But I've got that whole hour to slowly start unwinding. Because I don't know about you, but if you say you're going to go to bed at a certain time, it normally takes about 45 minutes to actually get into bed. So if you're setting an alarm for your sleep time and actually you're taking another 45 minutes, then that makes it really late. So try that Alexa. And again, as I said, that blue light, if you've got your phone in your bedroom, it is the worst thing. You will either start doom scrolling, you'll start buying stuff. I don't know a single person who can have their phone in their bedroom that doesn't start looking at it. So if you're one of those people who's got it in bed, just get it out of the bedroom. Yeah, set your alarm same time every evening and every morning. And if you suffer from the wakey wakies in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, and then your mind can't stop thinking and obsessing about it, those things that cause you that kind of whirring, try and sort it out the morning, sort it out the night before you go to bed. So if, for instance, you're thinking, I've got to do my workout in the morning, I've got something to do, just get it all ready in front of the front door, ready for the next morning. The caveat to that is I would say if you're worrying about a work thing, don't try and do it the night before because then you'll just stay up all night. Sleep masks. So anyone tried a sleep mask? If you've put a 5 in the chat, if you've tried a sleep mask and whether you've found that blocking out of all kind of the visual perception can help. You can get particular ones that are really soft around the eyes. And the other thing is earplugs. Yeah, game changer. The other thing that I found is a game changer are loop earplugs. So I sleep so much better with loop earplugs, not just for my partner's snoring, maybe even a little bit for my own snoring, but it just softens everything. And I used to worry that I wouldn't be able to wake up and hear the alarm, but it doesn't cause any trouble with that. I don't do the sleep mask, but the earplugs I do, and it really helps. I haven't used white noise, but I know people who've had really bad insomnia problems who've used one of those white noise uh, things. You can get them on your phone as an app. I'd say try and find. You can also get them that you can sit on the side of the bed. Just don't use your phone in bed at all for anything. So a white noise, I always started thinking it was like some kind of horrible static noise, but you can get all kinds of noise, music, rain, wind, all that kind of stuff. So have a look at that if you've got real problems with insomnia. And then also this state of your gut really can impact sleep. So we're kind of going back to the importance of nutrition affecting everything, that gut-brain axis, how you feel, all of that is really, really important. So I'm just going to dig a little bit deeper into that. Oh, sorry about that slide. So obviously, if you're not eating sufficiently well during the day, it's going to affect everything, and that's going to affect your sleep as well. So if you're constipated or you're suffering from water retention because you've had quite a lot of ultra processed food that day, then that's going to affect your serotonin production, which will then impact your mood and your ability to relax. Gut inflammation. So again, this is going to come from inflammatory foods, ultra processed foods, carbohydrates are going to release sugar really, really quickly into your body just before you sleep. All of those are going to cause discomfort, which will interfere with your sleep patterns. I'll give you an example of this actually for when I did my yoga teacher training and various ashrams I've been into when I've done like 10-day meditation programs. They take chili, onion, garlic, all of those out of your diet because it affects your ability to meditate. I actually thought, no, that's rubbish. And then as soon as I started eating it, it definitely affect that ability to relax. I'm not saying take out chili and garlic, but just thinking of that, if that can affect your ability to relax. Can you imagine what very salty, very sugary food does? And then if you're not digesting your food properly, it's going to affect your ability to absorb nutrients. So nutrients like magnesium, zinc, vitamin B, found in leafy green vegetables, shellfish, bananas, whole grains, nuts and seeds, that is also going to affect your sleep. So that ability to boost your gut with healthy microbiome, good digestion. It's not just a simple thing of, oh, it's my hormones keeping me up at night or work keeping me up at night. It's thinking about actually how is your food, how is your diet fueling and nourishing your body, your bones, your brain, your nourishment for sleep. All of those things is so important. So your takeaways from this, if I was to bring it down into a focus. Obviously, you all understand the importance of sleep, but really digging down into how that's affecting your hunger hormones, your stress levels, your cortisol, and therefore the impact of fat accumulation, and really disrupting your patterns of keeping at a healthy weight, keeping your inflammatory load down. Will help you to gain perspective on just how important it is to start thinking about those things that will help improve your sleep. Really optimize your sleep environment. So make your bedroom that sleep sanctuary. Like I would say the number one thing to take away is ban your phone from the bedroom. Just don't even take it in there. Don't even wander in there with it and think, oh, well, I'll just lie down. I'll just have a little flick and then I'm going to get up and plug it into a different room. Don't do that. Take it out as soon as you go into the bedroom to start your sleep relaxation into getting ready to bed. Your phone just shouldn't be in there. And just be patient. I know some of you really suffer from sleep and you might feel like you've tried everything. Just try some of these things and stay consistent with it because it's like nutrition and exercise. It's not going to happen overnight and it takes some kind of change to get to improved sleep. So thanks for joining. I hope, again, that's a very short, quick look at the impact of sleep on our hormones and those things you can try to help you relax and get a good night's sleep for the repair of your muscles,